Tuesday Night Touchdown Podcast with your hosts, Reese Downing and Jacob Workman.
What's going on, guys? It is TNT Tuesday Night Touchdown Podcast, NFL edition, Week 7 picks coming at you on a Thursday once again. We seem to be knocking these out on Thursdays here lately, but that's okay. We're still coming at you before the game starts tonight. With me, as always, is the fine citizen and co-host, Mr. Jacob Workman. Jake, how you doing, brother?
Everything's good. What's going on?
Not too much, man. Not too much. We had another good week of football. For most fans, not Lions or Cowboys fans, but let's hop into what happened last week. Pick wise, I finished 7-8. Jake finished 6-9. We both missed our lock and dog, so not our best week. Results around the NFL: the Giants beat the Eagles 34-17 on Thursday Night Football in East Rutherford. The Broncos beat the Jets 13-11 in the final minutes of their matchup in England. The Colts beat the Cardinals 31-27 at the Glue Factory. Chargers beat the Dolphins in the final minutes 29-27 at Hard Rock. The Pats beat the Saints 25-19 in the Big Easy. Steelers beat the Browns 23-9 in Pittsburgh. The Panthers got the home win over the Cowboys 30-27 at the Bank. Seahawks got the cross-country victory over the Jags 20-12 in Duval. The Rams beat the injury-riddled Ravens 17-3 in Baltimore. The Raiders snapped their 4-game skid by beating the visiting Titans 20-10 in Vegas. Packers beat the Flacco-led Bengals 27-18 in Lambeau. The Bucks beat the Niners 30-19 at the Ray J. The Chiefs beat the Lions 30-17 at Arrowhead on Sunday Night Football. We'll talk about that game here in just a second. The Falcons bested the Bills 24-14 in Hotlanta Monday night to hand Buffalo their second straight loss. And the Bears beat the Commanders 25-24 on the leg of Eddie Pinheiro. Also on Monday night, this one was in the nation's capital. We just mentioned it here. Let's talk the Chiefs-Lions game. That's going to be the only game we're really going to talk about this week. The Chiefs bounced back in a big way Sunday night, taking down the Red Hot Lions 30-17 at Arrowhead. Pat Mahomes put on a clinic, threw for 257 yards and 3 touchdowns, plus rushing for another. Kansas City's offense looked sharp, pretty efficient, in control. They scored on 5 of their 7 full drives while punting just once. Wasn't overly flashy. Mahomes didn't complete a single really deep ball. It was just methodical and effective. They had some really good scores from Xavier Worthy and Marquise Hollywood Brown. On the other side, Detroit's banged up defense really didn't have any answers. They're missing a lot of key players and playing through injuries. They gave up a season-high 355 yards, failed to force a turnover for the first time since week 1. And as everybody, I'm sure, saw, the frustration boiled over post-game when Lions DB Brian Branch hit Juju Smith-Schuster after refusing a handshake, capping off a rough night for the Lions defense. The NFL did announce on Monday that Branch has been suspended for 1 game for his role in the scuffle. Defensively for KC, Chris Jones silenced some critics after a rough week. He tallied 4 quarterback pressures and helped seal the win with the big 3rd down push late in the game. Jake, was this the Chiefs reminding everyone that they're still contenders, or more about Detroit hitting a wall with all these injuries and defensive troubles?
It seemed like a bunch of bullshit. That's what it seemed like. The first touchdown we had got fucking robbed from us. I mean, the refs took 35 minutes after the play. There's a clip where Goff says that came from upstairs, and the ref says yes. Campbell said he was told it came from upstairs, but yet in the pool after the game, because it can't happen, that's not legal, the ref said no, that no one called that in. That was our decision. Okay, that's bullshit. Clear as day. That didn't happen. So we've got another one of those situations. It's the typical once a year Lions make up rules as we go. I also am pretty pissed off game wise. Like, the game's the game. Like, we were way too injured. We should not have won that game. Like, it was not a game we should go in and win when we have no secondary. Our safeties were both game time decisions. They both somehow played. Kirby died in the middle of the fucking game and could barely move. And then somehow, I don't know what the hell he did in that blue tent, but he came out and played. I don't know how. Like, he looked like he was dead. And he came back and played. He's questionable for this week. Hopefully, Dan said since we have the extra day that there is a chance he plays, hopefully. The Branch suspension to me is complete bullshit. It's Chiefs favoritism at its finest to me. I'm not a Chiefs hater. I'm becoming one quickly because of that fucking game, though. Mahomes had 4. If you go back and watch when he scored, there were 4 different taunts he did to Brian Branch. He threw the ball at him. He flexed at him. He pointed at him. There was one other one. 4 taunts, no penalties, even though that's a topic of conversation, things we're supposed to be watching this year, things we're supposed to be implementing, kind of like false starts on the Eagles that don't ever get called. So we've got all that. Then for the last whole drive, the Chiefs had the ball. Asshole Juju Smith-Schuster is late hitting Branch in the back half the drive, knocking him on his ass. So, and Branch is a fiery fucking guy. Like, he's not that type of guy. So after the game, Mahomes is trying to give him a handshake. Yeah, I tell him to fuck off too. But he didn't do it in a rude way. He just walked right by him. He just ignored him. What's wrong with that? So here comes Juju. Juju comes over and starts talking shit. So yeah, of course he's going to get popped in the fucking face. He should. But all he did, he hit him in the face. Branch walks away. That's it. Juju, if you watch the clip, Juju runs from a good 10 to 15 yards away, runs after him, and then ignites the fight. Oh, and guess who left with their nose bloody? Stupid, worthless ass TikTok Juju Smith-Schuster. Fuck him. Like, it's bullshit. He should be suspended just as much. If you go watch that clip from the all 22 angle, there's no reason he shouldn't be suspended as well. It's bullshit. Branch appeals. Oh, guess who does the appeal? Jordy fucking Nelson. Okay, let's let a Packer fucking guy do the appeal. Good fucking luck with that. So that's why that was denied. Like, it's bullshit all around. The game was the game. We were never in a situation. Now, if that would have been a touchdown to start that game, obviously that would have been a huge change. Amon-Ra St. Brown dropped a fourth down. Amon-Ra St. Brown does not drop the ball ever. Like, literally ever. I watch every game, every play. He does not drop the ball. So for him to drop a ball is absurd. Like, you can probably count on one hand the amount of drops he's had in the last 5 years. That was a huge deal. Hutch forced a fumble. We didn't get the recovery on that. So, like, there's a lot of things that could have quickly swung that game to where we still could have won. But situationally, that was a game. I mean, going into it, we thought we were going to have some of the secondary guys back. We thought Aleem McNeil was going to be back. None of them were back. So that was a problem. This week, Aleem is going to play, thankfully. And, I mean, we're not going to have Terrian back still. So the secondary is still going to be a question mark. But it is what it is. I'm more pissed off at the league and the clear bullshit of rules that aren't implemented the right way. Touchdown should have been the touchdown. And Patrick Mahomes taunted 4 fucking different times to Brian Branch. How none of that was ever flagged, I'll never know. Well, I do know, but it's part of it. And then the Juju Smith-Schuster, how he wasn't part of the suspension also. It's all the bullshit. But it's perfect because this is a great time of year for this to happen. Here in a couple of weeks, by mid-November, late November, we're going to be fairly healthy, probably really healthy. That was kind of what we needed. We need that Detroit versus everybody back. So I like it. Fuck the Chiefs. That's what all I have to say. And the refs.
We good?
Maybe.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah. I don't have much to add other than the fact that I agree with you and that it's clear as day in a lot of these games that the Eagles and the Chiefs tend to get preferential treatment when it comes to penalties and things of that sort.
Also, before you keep going, one more thing. I forgot to even add this in.
That's why I asked.
On the play that they called Goff for the formation, the Chiefs were fucking offsides. Clear as day. They were lined up in the neutral zone. It was as clear as day. Not called. Same thing.
Yeah, and I think the call on that play was that if Goff would not, as soon as and this was what was so messed up when they were talking about it, they were like, because he appeared to go under center, he then, when he motions, has to stop and set before the play happens. But if they would have played that play from the shotgun, he could have been in motion and it wouldn't have mattered. But because he walked up to be under center, he signaled to the defense that he was going to be the one snapping the ball. And because of that, it was required for him to move, which
regardless, the rule is the rule, whatever, but call it when it happens. You don't call an illegal formation 95 seconds after the play's over and the team's on the sideline.
Right. Yeah.
And then claim that it didn't come from New York. And we know it did. Bullshit.
Yeah. I get it, man. I understand. I'm with you on the lack of penalties that get called on one over the other. That should be crazy.
The Chiefs had 0, nonetheless, in that game.
I know, and that's the first time in I don't know how many games that's happened where they had 0 penalties throughout an entire game. I don't know when the last time that happened, but it's pretty crazy. All of that said, I do think that the Chiefs are getting their pieces back at a good time. This week they're going to get Rashee Rice back. Xavier Worthy's obviously back. The Chiefs are a team to watch out for. At the beginning of the year, I thought they might take a little bit of a step back, but I also didn't think Baltimore would be coming into week 7 with 5 losses. So AFC's kind of wide open right now. The Bills have just lost 2 straight. Chiefs are getting hot at the right time from an AFC perspective. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's keep things moving.
Hopefully Rice has someone to drive him to the game.
Yes. Let's keep things moving here. We did have a head coach lose his job. Big shakeup in Nashville. The Tennessee Titans have fired head coach Brian Callahan just 6 games into his second season. Callahan leaves with a 4-19 record, including 1-5 this year with rookie quarterback Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Team president Chad Brinker said it came down to a lack of growth. The Titans offense had scored just 83 points through 6 games, their worst start since 1985. Mike McCoy, the veteran assistant and former Chargers head coach, takes over as interim coach, and he'll get a shot to prove that he deserves the job full time. Adding to that drama, offensive line coach Bill Callahan, who's Brian's father, was also let go. This continues a pretty troubling trend. 6 of the last 8 number 1 overall quarterbacks have had their head coaches fired during their rookie season. It's been a messy stretch, from fans chanting fire Callahan to Cam Ward calling out the offense after a blowout loss. Now the Titans are facing a similar name next week, or this week. Mike Vrabel, the man Callahan replaced, has got the Patriots sitting 4-2, and now he's heading into Nashville. So here's the question. Is it really about bad coaching, or is it just another example of NFL teams pulling the plug too fast on rookie quarterbacks and rebuilds? You look at these situations where 6 of the last 8 number 1 overall quarterbacks have had their head coach fired during their rookie season. Callahan didn't even have 2 seasons under his belt.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that, though. Like, I mean, we talked about how colossal of a fucking, like, why are you firing Vrabel to begin with? Like, that was a terrible decision to begin with.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, we talked about that ad nauseum.
Yeah, and then the owner doesn't even show up to the press conference to announce the coach. Like, that seems like a terrible situation to me. They're building a new stadium, so they do have that going for them. And I mean, Nashville's a great city, so and they've got Cam, I think, is going to be good. Like, I like Cam, so I think that the pieces are in place there to build. But the thing is, Colts playing well, Jacksonville's playing well, Tennessee's Tennessee. I mean, they're hit miss, or Houston is hit miss. I mean, and then Tennessee. So I mean, it's a tough. I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in, because you think you would want to go get an offensive coach to pair with Cam, but I just don't know. Like, if I were a coach right now looking for a job, that's one of those situations where I would not want to go there, just because of what they've done in the past and what they've shown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to go get a seasoned coach like Mike McCarthy or Bill Belichick, which we talked about briefly in the
I'd say
show.
Like, go get like Cliff,
Matt Nagy, Joe Brady, Jesse Minter. Yeah. Some of those guys are like, they need to prove it, so this is an opportunity to do so.
Well, I'm not sure I would get Minter.
Minter's not an offensive guy, right? He's a defensive guy. But Nagy and Brady are the 2 names that came to mind for me.
I would agree with that, and then throw in. I think Cliff would be, just because putting Cliff with Cam Ward, yeah,
right. They've got some young weapons in Tennessee. I mean, last year in the preseason, we were talking about how the Titans had a lot of talent on the roster, and that they may be one of those teams in the AFC South that makes a little bit of noise. It didn't turn out to be that way, but. Yeah, I mean, was Callahan ever the right man for the job? I don't know. But to the point that you just made and the point that we made last year, like, why the hell did you fire Mike Vrabel? Because
they pissed him off when they traded Brown, and then it all went downhill. And and they've kind of been a disaster ever since, the whole franchise. So
yeah, I mean, they are the Carolina Panthers of the AFC right now. So I don't know that I would want that job, unless, again, you're one of those guys that's looking for their first head coaching opportunity, or one that's not been around for a while. Like I said, I've seen both McCarthy and Belichick's name mentioned, but if I'm Mike McCarthy, I don't want to step into that mess. And if I'm Bill Belichick, like, is that situation really much better than? I mean, I guess maybe Belichick's reading the writing on the wall that college football is not for him. But even if that's the case, like, the Tennessee Titans are not going to be the only team at the end of the year that have a job opening available. So if Belichick does want to come back to the NFL, like, I don't think Tennessee is where he would want to go. Not to mention the fact that he would be in the same division as the Patriots. Like, I don't see him going that route, but we'll see
not
if
the
Mike
same.
McCoy can
They'd be
hold
the same conference, not the same division.
Same conference. Yeah.
I just don't think that. One, I think Bill's staying in college for at least one more year. I do think that will happen. But the other thing I would you had mentioned former coaches, like maybe R.D. Smith, like he's an offensive guy, has some experience. He might be the only other one, just if he's looking to get another head coaching job. But yeah, it's a tough, like Nagy, and who's the other one you said? Nagy and McCarthy, I guess. That
Joe Brady.
Yeah, well, like, was Brady an interim? I think he did get an interim when Rule got fired, right, in Carolina. I don't know if he was the interim then or not. I feel like he was.
I can't remember if he was or not, but
yeah, I don't remember exactly. But still, he's never been a true head coach. Put it that way.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Situationally, especially with other teams that are more than likely going to open, that I think the Saints obviously will stay. I think Kellen will get at least one more year, so that's probably going to be the worst open job. Like, so who the hell is going to want to go there, especially when it's what they've shown the last few years? It's not a good situation there.
Yeah, it's another one of the situations like in Carolina where you don't feel supported by the owner. So why do you want to go do that? It sits yourself into a bad situation to start. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. They're going to roll with Mike McCoy through the rest of the year, it sounds like. So if he somehow turns this around, I mean, he is a former head coach in San Diego. So we'll see if he ends up keeping the job. It sounds like they're probably going to try to go after somebody in the offseason. All right, let's keep things rolling here. There's just a couple other quick news points here. Jerry Jones was fined $250,000 for an obscene gesture last week after giving some Jets fans the bird after Cowboys road win in New York 2 Sundays ago. He will not appeal the fine. I don't know how he could, because it's clear as day he's giving them the bird. I thought it was kind of funny. Philadelphia Eagles pass rusher Zadarius Smith, who joined the team 1 week into the season, has announced his retirement on social media Monday morning and was placed on the reserve retired list. We just talked about this guy, but Chiefs wide receiver Rashid Rice's suspension has officially been lifted. He will return to the team this week. We're going to pause on this one. I want to get your feedback on this because you used to be a big fan of this guy. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Fuck him.
Signed with the Texans, got cut by the Texans, signed with the Ravens practice squad, and he's already been released from the Ravens practice squad. Just 2 years ago, he was like in the conversation for one of the better DBs in the league. Like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. I don't know what.
Yeah, he had the year in Detroit. He got injured when he was with us. He talked a lot of shit, didn't do a lot of good. We sent him back to Philly. Philly got rid of him. So clearly there's a downfall that went quick. Because between there, Houston, I mean, it just seems like it's a probably good thing just to call it a career at this point. But he might be added depth to a potential deep playoff team, though. I mean, honestly, situation right now at safety in Detroit is not that promising. So depth for us, I mean, I just don't know if we'll ever bring him back because I feel like he's kind of a cancer to the locker room. But
yeah, I can see him potentially. Maybe he's coming back. I know he had that injury earlier in the season. They thought they may have lost him for the season, and then it ended up happening. So I don't know if maybe that's lingering and that's part of the problem. Maybe he just needs to take the rest of the year off. I don't know, but we'll see what happens there. The 49ers continue to get bit by the injury bug. All-pro linebacker Fred Warner is going to miss the rest of the season after suffering a dislocated and broken ankle in Sunday's loss to Tampa Bay. Colts backup quarterback Anthony Richardson has landed on IR and is going to be out for at least the next 4 weeks after suffering an orbital fracture during pregame on Sunday. It sounds like during pregame warm-ups, he was using the warm-up bands and it slipped from his hand and hit him in the face, fracturing his orbital bone. And then to make matters worse, pregame, Charvarius Ward was warming up and got leveled accidentally by tight end Andrew Ogletree, and that resulted in a concussion that kept him out of Sunday's game against the Cardinals. And it may keep him out this week as well. I haven't seen an update on whether or not he's going to be able to play.
Yeah, that hit was rough.
But that was a rough hit. He was down on the ground for a while. I still have not seen if any video has come out on the injury with Richardson. I'm guessing that's not the case, but
no, because it wasn't on the field. They said it was in the locker room, and they actually said that the thing that was holding that the band was tied to came loose. Yeah, okay. And that's what caused it to. I mean, fucking snap your orbital like that's That's pretty serious.
That sucks. Yeah. I was listening to I can't remember what the name of the Steelers podcast, but James Harrison was talking about how something similar happened to him where he had a broken orbital fracture from doing something like that, but he played in the game and then had surgery immediately after, because that's like one of the toughest sons of bitches in the history of the NFL. But crazy for the Colts. Not that it matters for them right now, because Indiana Jones has been playing pretty lights out for him, but it sounds like Anthony Richardson is going to be out for a while.
Since we are talking about injuries right now, I will inform you, Adam Schefter did just say that CeeDee Lamb has announced he is ready to return after missing the last 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, George Pickens has been playing very, very well for us in his absence, but we need CeeDee back. Now,
and
it does
Kittle,
not help. Kittle's back. Purdy's back, right? Those guys are both playing.
Kittle has been designated for return from IR.
Anything official about Brock Purdy?
Go over the rest of what you have, and I will look real quick.
Yeah, it's not much. We've got Puka Nacua. He suffered an ankle sprain in Sunday's win over the Baltimore Ravens. He's going to miss some time. Chargers defensive tackle Deshaun Hand is placed on IR with a groin injury, but he's expected to return at some point this season. And we already touched base on this, but defensive tackle Lee McNeil is going to make his season debut this week in the Lions game versus the Bucs.
Hopefully. It's fucking... till that motherfucker's on the field. Jesus Christ. It does look like Mac is going to be starting again. They do not want Purdy to suffer another relapse. So it looks like Mac is going to be the starter. Well,
there you go. We've got Mac as the starter, maybe emergency backup Purdy if it happens, because I know Mac's dealing with an injury too. So the Niners just can't get out of their own way when it comes to the injury bug.
I just pulled up the first injury report for this week. I wanted to see if Mac is on it. So he has a knee and oblique, but he was a full participant at today's practice, limited participant yesterday. So he should be good.
Okay. All right. So Mac is definitely going to be the starter for this week's game against the Falcons.
Yes.
All right. Well, that is it as far as news and notes. Let's jump into our week 7 picks. All right, we are going to roll it out with a game that's going to be happening here in just a couple of hours. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals tonight at 8:15 p.m. at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati on Amazon Prime. Over under is 44.5. The Steelers come in favored by 5.5.
Yeah, I've never really been a trends person when it comes to betting, but the trends on this say Cincinnati, to take Cincinnati. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, trends are trends for a reason, but I think it's just situationally too right for Pittsburgh in this point. I think Pittsburgh's defensive line can raise hell on Flacco in this game. I like Pittsburgh to get the win in the cover here.
Yeah, battle of 2 old-ass QBs. Steelers pass rush has been rolling the past 2 weeks. They've got 6 sacks in each of the last 2 games. The Bengals have looked better with Flacco under center. 5.5, Thursday Night Football. I mean, they just need a touchdown to win it. Oh, I don't usually have the trends have anything to, and I didn't pick this because of the trends either, but I'm going to go Cincinnati here to keep this close enough. I think Pittsburgh may win this one by 3. I just have a feeling, I think Cincinnati is going to be able to keep it close enough here. We'll see. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday, 9:30 a.m. at Wembley Stadium in London, England on the NFL Network. Over under is 44.5. The Rams come in favored by 3.
Yeah, Stafford officially went to number 9 on the all-time yards list last week. This is an interesting game. The Rams came out and said they're not even getting to London until Saturday morning, which I found interesting. Both teams are kind of all over the place. To me, they're kind of both the same team. I think the Rams are obviously a little better, but I think they're both right kind of on an equal point at this point. But who the hell knows what's going to happen in London? But I'm going to take the Rams minus the 3. I'm not that confident in it with the way that they've been playing because they've kind of been sleepwalking lately. But I just think situationally their defense might be able to give Lawrence some pressure on this one and be the reason why they win.
Yeah, Rams are going to be without Pookie here. Plus, this is across the pond. Trevor Lawrence seems to like to play in England. I don't think the timing of this bodes very well for the Rams. I do think it's going to end up being a close matchup, so I'm going to take the points here. I don't know who's going to win this, but I'm going to take Jacksonville in the 3. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Minnesota Vikings Sunday at 1 p.m. at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota on Fox. Over under is 43.5. The Eagles come in favored by 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 is way too low for me for this Minnesota team. I'm not big on Minnesota at all. I like Philly to win this one very easily and cover.
Yeah, I'm with you. 2 straight losses for Philly. Not all that eyebrow raising because they've won some really tight games this year, and some of them have been during the last minutes of the game. But so long as they limit the turnovers, they should be able to get the road win. So I'm going to take Philly here. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday at 1 p.m. at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City on CBS. Over under is 45.5. Big one. KC comes in favored by 11.5.
Yeah, I still have a problem with this Raiders offense. I'd say just give it to Ashton Genty every play and see what happens, honestly, at this point, because their passing game is atrocious. 11.5 is a ton, especially for a division game. I'm going to take the Raiders to cover this. I think it's too many points. The Chiefs sleepwalk a lot. They don't cover big spreads that often.
Yeah, I think this team's going to be a little excited to have an addition in Rashee Rice on the field, especially with all the stuff that they did last week. This team seems like they're picking up the pace a little bit. I'm going to roll with the Chiefs here to win and cover. It's a big spread, but I'm going to take KC minus the 11.5. Next up, we have the game of the week. New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears Sunday at 1 p.m. at Soldier Field in Chicago on Fox. Over under 46.5. The Bears come in favored by 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping rolling with the Bears. I like what the Bears are doing. I honestly think they're a pretty good team at this point. To be honest, I like them. I think the Saints still suck. They've been using Taysom Hill again a little bit better, but I still like. I've seen improvement week by week from the Bears. Caleb's looking better. He's getting the ball out quick. And it's a home game. I just think the situation lines up pretty good for the Bears here.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of a hangover for the Bears after getting that win over the Commanders in the final seconds last week, but I still don't trust this Saints team. I'm with you. I think Chicago has improved a little bit week over week, even though they're also winning close games. I am going to take Chicago here at home to maybe get a 7-point victory. Next up, we have the second best game of the week, the Miami Dolphins at the Cleveland Browns, Sunday at 1 p.m. at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland on CBS. Over under 36.5. It's going to be a barn burner. Cleveland does come in favored by 2.5.
So we've got a situation in this game. 50 to 60 mile an hour wind. There's a system that they're saying to keep an eye on because it could get stronger. 94% chance of rain. This game is terrible. I think that's why we're seeing the over under so low and what it is. How do you pick a team in this game with this weather? Who runs the ball better and who plays defense better? Probably Cleveland, honestly, because I'm not big on the Dolphins right now. So let's take Cleveland at home minus 2.5. This is a game I would never bet with this weather situation, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it boils down to me when I was looking at this game is both teams have, let's call them solid running backs between Achane and Quinshon Judkins, but the difference is going to be the defense, and Miami does not have a defense like Cleveland does. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Brownies here to win and cover. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers at the New York Jets Sunday at 1 p.m. at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford on Fox. Over under 42.5. The Panthers come in favored by 1.5.
Yeah, I'd like to. So a lot of people like to talk about how people that gamble a lot only talk about bets they win. I'll be glad to share a bet I lost last week. I had a huge money line parlay. All I needed was the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Carolina Panthers, and I would have won damn near $1,000, like $978 or something.
That's what you get.
Yeah, they didn't come through. So
that's what you get, man.
Give me Aaron Glenn's first win of his career. I'll take the Jets.
All right. Yeah, Uncle Rico's been running wild. He backed up what he said last week after he said they better buckle up. The Cowboys did not buckle up on defense. Now he gets a Jet defense that the Cowboys just ran all over as one of the worst in the league. Fields was also struggling. I'm going to take the Panthers here to win and cover. I know they don't play as well on the road as they do at home, but I think Rico may have taken the starting role from Chuba whenever Chuba does come back if he continues this pace. So I am going to go Panthers. Next up, we have the New England Patriots at the Tennessee Titans, Sunday, 1 p.m. at Nissan Stadium in Nash, Vegas on CBS. Over under 41.5. The Patriots come in favored by 6.5.
I mean, I think this is as simple as saying Vrabel's going to want to beat their ass. And I mean, I don't think you're going to get the first time coach bump here either. So I'm taking the Patriots to just obliterate them.
Yep. I will keep this short and simple. I am with you. Patriots by a mile.
I will want to say, so as I'm scrolling Twitter, just to make sure we don't miss anything, tonight in Cincinnati, we've got a whiteout going on, and they've got the white and black striped end zones. It's going to look fucking badass in Cincinnati tonight. I'm going to say they're going to at least look cool. I still think they're going to get beat, but it does look like an awesome setting tonight for Thursday Night Football.
I do like the white jerseys.
And one other thing I just saw, college episode is over, but we're going to announce it. James Franklin will appear live on College Game Day this Saturday morning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't have anything else to do. So
just maybe that's his job interview. You know, he's got to do an interview. So
yeah, there you go. All right. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Los Angeles Chargers, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. Eastern at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood on CBS. 48.5 is the over/under. The Chargers come in favored by 1.5.
I've been to the Glue Factory. I've been to SoFi, two beautiful stadiums. SoFi is one impressive piece of architecture. We'll put it that way. Unfortunately, I think the Colts run comes to a little bit of an end here. Joe Alt is going to be back. He returned to practice today for the Chargers, which I think is a big deal. And I think it's time the Colts finally lose a game. I just think by default, they've got to lose something at some point. So I like the Chargers to get the win here.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a great matchup. The Chargers are still pretty injury riddled. They're struggling to stop the run, and Jonathan Taylor's been playing some inspired football. So I'm going to take the Colts here to win outright. Next up, we have the New York Giants at the Denver Broncos, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. Eastern at Mile High Stadium in Denver on CBS. Over under in this one's 40.5. Denver comes in favored by 7.
Man, 7 seems like a lot for this game, but I don't. The Giants, man, you just never know. That was an impressive showing a week ago against Philly at home. I don't think they can do the same thing against Denver's defense, to be honest. So I'm going to take. 7's a lot for Denver, though. I'm not sure that offense can. That's a big spread. I'll take Denver. I don't like it. I'm going to stay away from that one in the real betting, but we'll take Denver for the sake of the pick.
Yeah, I mean, Giants have been fun to watch since fully adopting the Dark Scatterboo attack. This is likely going to be a tough one for them to win, as you were just talking about, heading into Mile High to go up against one of the better defenses in the league. But Denver's offense is just unpredictable. Giants defense has shown some flashes of brilliance. I think Denver wins this game, but I feel like 7's just too salty. So I'm going to take the Giants in the points. They're probably going to win this game by 6. I just don't trust Denver to cover this. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys, Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern at AT&T Stadium in Arlington on Fox. Over/under is 54.5. Washington is favored by 1.5. And as Jake just mentioned, CeeDee Lamb will probably be in uniform and on the field for this game.
Yeah, I'm so mad at Dallas after last week. I don't know. I expected Washington to lose to the Bears, honestly. I picked the Bears outright last week. I am not honestly that big on Washington right now. I think the return of Lamb, I think this game being in Dallas, it's going to be a glare game. We got the 425, I think, for the first time this year. We actually get to see the sun in there, as Jerry would probably call it, the glory hole. I like Dallas, to be honest, in this game. It's not a typical pick I would make per se, but I do think Dallas wins this one outright.
Yeah, this is going to be a high-scoring shootout. I think whoever has the ball last is probably going to win this. I just hope Eberflus doesn't fuck this one up too. I'm going to cautiously roll with Dallas in the points here at home. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers at the Arizona Cardinals. Last 4:25 game on Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona on Fox. Over under 44.5. The Packers come in favored by 6.5.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get close to Flacco having the game of the century. He almost brought him back to win that game last week, but Packers rolled on like they did. Here they go to Arizona. Arizona's all over the place. I'm going to take the Packers. I think 6.5 is kind of high, but I will take the Packers to keep rolling.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant on this with it being 6.5 and this being a road game in Arizona, but there's some question marks on the offensive side for Arizona. So I'm also going to take Green Bay to get at least a 7-point win here. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the San Francisco 49ers. Sunday Night Football action starts at 8:20 p.m. on Sunday at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara on NBC. 46.5 is the over-under. San Fran comes in favored by 1.5.
Yeah, obviously injury news all over the place for San Francisco. Some guys coming back, some guys hurt. The Falcons, I loved watching what the Falcons did to Buffalo on Monday night. I'm obviously anyone that's listened to the college show or any of our shows for the last couple of years, Penix I love, so I'm always going to back him. But Bijan, I mean, he's unbelievable. I love what Raheem Morris is doing there. I'm going to take the Falcons to go there, and I actually like them to win this outright for another back-to-back primetime win for them.
Yeah, if you look at this short week for Atlanta, Kittle's going to be back for the Niners. They're going across the country after a big win, so a possibility of a hangover. I still just don't trust this game for San Francisco. It's basically a pick 'em, but I'm with you. I'm actually going to take Atlanta here. I just think Bijan's going to be too much for this 49ers team. They're getting a piece or two back on the offensive side of the ball, but the Niners are just decimated on both sides, and the defense, I just don't think they're going to be able to slow this down. So Falcons hold things up with the tempo. I think the Falcons can escape San Fran with a victory. So I am also going to take Atlanta here plus the 1.5. Yet again, we've got two Monday Night Football games. First one is a big one here. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions Monday at 7:15 p.m. at Ford Field in Motor City on ABC and ESPN. 52.5 is the over-under. Detroit comes in favored by 5.5. Jake?
One thing I'll note, I don't think this game's on both of those channels because the other one's going to have the other one. But that's relevant.
Yeah, maybe the streaming service. It was listed as ABC and ESPN on
probably
ESPN's
the app.
website.
Yeah, probably the ESPN app. So matchup of injuries. Tampa's wide receivers are hurt and our whole secondary's hurt. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Aleem McNeil coming back for us, as long as he does come back, is huge. That puts our D line in a much better situation than what we've been in. We did go out and sign Florida State man, Jamie Robinson, today. He can actually play safety. He's probably listed as a corner, but I would assume he's going to come in and play safety for us opposite Curb. So he will be the branch replacement if I had to assume, unless Curb's hurt. And then who the hell knows who our other safety is going to be. But I would assume Jamie Robinson to come in and be one of our safeties. Corner is going to be a whole different situation. Me and you might be out there. Who the hell knows? Rory might start. Gridiron might play. Who the hell knows who's going to be in our secondary at this point?
We might resurrect or eat him up Lions guy.
We have the equivalent out there right now, so we might as well. But between that, the thing I like in this game, we're back at home. It's a blackout game. We'll be in the all blacks with the blue helmets. We're back at Ford Field finally in a primetime spot in a huge game. Our offense, I think, is going to be enough in this one to get us through it. I think our offense will be able to take down Tampa's defense, and that will be the difference. Baker's been working magic, though, with what he has, so I think he will probably have a great day against our, if you want to call it a secondary. But I'm really hoping that the D-line is our difference here with Aleem being back. Hutch and Muhammad are fucking wreaking hell on the outsides. As long as we get interior pressure to go with it, I think we're in great shape. So I do like the Lions to win and cover at home.
Yeah, Tampa keeps winning close games. I just don't love this matchup between the injuries and the Lions looking to bounce back after that loss last week. I just, all week I heard a lot of the commentators talk about how people have awoken the sleeping giant, quote unquote, in the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But what about beating the Lions like they just got beat? I mean, Dan Campbell went there post game and basically said, we just got kicked in the mouth and maybe we needed it. I fear any Dan Campbell led team after an ass kicking like that. I just have this feeling that Dan has just been on it all week, getting these guys fired up. And yeah, there's a lot of injuries, but if there's a coach in the NFL that's going to be able to rile up third, fourth string guys to play above their ability, Dan Campbell is one of those dudes. Do it for the city. There's a couple. You're all Blacks. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we are going into the bye also, so we know that we're at least getting a break after this.
Yeah, so also getting a break. You're at home. It's prime time. You're in all Blacks. There's just a whole bunch of things that are pointing towards Detroit here. I will be very, very shocked if Detroit doesn't win this game. And I don't think it's out of the question for you guys to win this by 7. I don't think you're going to blow out Tampa because Baker just keeps finding ways to keep these guys in regardless of who's getting injured. But I do like Detroit in this game. So I am with you. I'm going to take the Motor City Lions here minus the 5.5. Last game of the week, we have the Houston Texans at the Seattle Seahawks Monday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern at Lumen Field in Seattle on ESPN. Over under is 40.5. The Seahawks come in favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I mentioned it a little earlier. I haven't been too big on the Texans at all. I like what Seattle's doing. JSN's killing it. And Darnold, I mean, he's doing enough. It's a home game for them. It's going to be loud as hell, tough environment, late night. I'm not big. I don't think Houston's going to be able to handle it. So I will take Seattle to win and cover.
Yeah, for all of those reasons. I talked last year when I was so frustrated with the Cowboys that I kind of adopted the Seattle Seahawks as kind of my second team that I like to follow. I really like what this team has looked like this year. They've done very well cross country with some of these road games, winning pretty handedly. They're finally getting to come back home in a primetime home matchup with the 12th man in full effect. Lumen Field is going to be fucking loud the entire game. I just think it's going to be too much for Houston, especially for only 3.5. So for all those reasons, I am taking the Seattle Seahawks here minus the 3.5. Two teams we have on bye this week, Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens definitely need a bye week to try to get healthy. So we'll see what they look like when they return next week. That is it for week 7 picks. Let's roll into our locks for the week. Jake, who's your lock?
My lock is tonight here in less than 2 hours. I will take the Steelers to go into the whiteout and win by more than 5.5 and keep their season going. They're off to a good start.
We just talked about this game and how much I like this team. I am locking in on the Seattle Seahawks minus 3.5 at home. Let's hear it. Who's your dog?
Dog of the week will be Sunday Night Football. Give me Penix and the Falcons to go to Levi Stadium and get the win.
Very nice. I like it. I'm actually going to roll with Jacksonville overseas. I just think this is a good spot for Jacksonville to step in and get a win over a very solid Rams team. Smiling at that because this is a new sound that just got rolled out. And I just told Jake before we recorded that shit's going to get used on me sooner than later. And it didn't even take 2 shows. There we are. But I am locking in as my underdog, Jacksonville, to get the win. All right, guys, that is it for us this week. For the fine citizen and co-host, Mr. Jacob Workman, this is Reese Downing and Jonathan in the background. Tuesday Night Touchdown podcast, NFL edition, week 7. We will be back with you guys next week for week 8. Make sure you check out our NCAA show. We cover James Franklin getting fired. We went over an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes in our NCAA show today. Had a lot of coaching conversation. Great show we had for you guys. So make sure you guys check it out. We'll see you guys next week.
See you, everyone.